That made it 2-all. Must have held his serve, but then a problem. The ATP trainer Bill Norris on hand. Must have had a recurring problem with his hip at the back here. Looked to have a problem, so he was well and truly crunched. Bill Norris giving him a rare working out, but seemed to do the trick. Third set going to a tiebreak. That ace making it 5-3 in the tiebreak to the Austrian. Yeah, I could feel his disgust. Believing he would, even though he's been beaten twice and hasn't won a set off Chang. He has total belief in his ability.
To be quite honest, if you don't have total belief, what the heck are you doing out there? So many players say, well, I hope to be a tennis player, or, you know, gee, I hope I win this match. Well, there's no such thing as hope. I will.
Yes, Rios is a pretty closed door as far as letting people know what he's thinking is concerned, but you suspect he's never lacked confidence in his life. Perhaps if there's a fault, it's been the other way. Sometimes perhaps a little overconfident. Yeah. But going back to that analogy, I've got no doubts that he is going to be a big occasion player. What's happened in the past is he's not allowed himself to get to the big occasion because sometimes his motivation hasn't been what it should be. But once he's there, he's going to be hard to knock off a pedestal. No, he's not going to serve with that one, is he?
There's definitely something wrong with that as far as he's concerned.
Sixth ace. Close on to half an hour now, and serve has held sway throughout. That was Chang's quickest serve so far, 195 Ks. And when you come back, Rios will serve to stay in the first set. With serve so far, serving to stay in the set. Murderous hitting from Chang.
Oh, it was pretty good by both players. I was just waiting to see which one would change the direction of their ground strokes. Because the last time they had the rally, it was the opposite, backhand from Rios, forehand to Chang, and Chang changed and made the error. I'm a little bit surprised at the number of errors on the return of serve from Chang. I didn't think that he would make this many.
Oh, wonderful shot.
The return of serve just in, but now you're going to see, well, you're not going to see. Beautiful forehand down the line.
Yes, he moved Chang up to the net. Very difficult to pick the winner of this set. No breaks of serves, still no break points.
Only one game that's gone beyond use. So very, very decisive each and every service game.
Rios has gone for his returns more on second serve, not made too many.
But he will.
Yeah, working away at that backhand, getting some reward.
I really am surprised at this stage of the game that neither player is really attacking the other one's second serve. As you say, Rios has tried it a few times and it hasn't come off, but he must keep trying. But Chang is just, even when he gets a second serve, he's just literally just putting it back into play.
Seventh ace. Shot of the match. And normally you'd expect that from Rios. He loves to come up with the unexpected.
Very, very high lob. He lets it bounce. Now Chang reads where he's going to go, sees the open court and just rifles the forehand. He's going to get that. It's a matter whether he hits it in or not.
Yeah, so you Drop shot Chang at your peril.
Especially on these courts, because the ball does sit up a little bit, and the drop volley was a fraction too high through the air.
No.
One-hander backhand slice.
Suddenly things have changed round in a rush. The first break points of a set, and they are set points, 2 of them. Oh, yes. How brave.
He flirted with death a couple of times, didn't he? A couple of really deep shots. But he comes up at the end with a humdinger.
He's played some brilliant forehands, but that's just about the best double-hander. Still set point to save. Third ace. Poker-faced, a natural gambler, and he gambled twice, and he's come up with the ace that time. Ooh, how could he miss it? Just pushed a little. Third set point.
Perhaps just a little bit too careful with the forehand volley. Hand volley. Knowing full well, of course, that Chang probably would run it down.
He's got him. There's the danger. Carl Chang applauds. The danger of Michael Chang. Tim Henman was saying it after his match, that you tell yourself not to go for extra shots against this guy, Chang, but something in the subconscious lets you down just on occasions.
Yeah, he forces you, because you know, it doesn't matter what you say to yourself, when you're about to hit the ball, suddenly the brain says something different.
Terrific volley, though, from Rios.
Well, he comes in late, does Rios. Very, very smart. He knows he's not going to get hurt with a one-handed backhand from Chang. It's a game where Rios really has to put a little bit more added pressure on his opponent, having just lost that first set. But then if Chang is going to serve like that, it's difficult to put pressure on him. Broke a string. Throughout the years, we've seen so many broken strings during matches, but I've just got that feeling, without having counted before and without having counted this year, that there are more broken strings this year than in any other tournament that I've seen.
Yes, I've seen more broken strings from Pete Sampras this year than almost from the whole number of players in any tournament.
The ball's being a little bit softer means that the ball will stay on the strings just that fraction longer. Now, I don't know if that has anything to do with the wear and tear on the strings or not, but it may have a reason.
Chang serving like a god. You wanted to bring up a point about big match temperament, Bob.
Not big match temperament, a little bit big match temperament, but you mentioned about Marcelo Rios, you know, with the fact that he tends to rise to the occasion and all that stuff. Well, if we can just assume that he's going to mature, that he is maturing, give him that element of doubt, take it away from him, because I do feel that he is maturing. The more personable he is, the more matches he wins, the higher the ranking, the more center court or feature court matches he's going to play, in which case each match tends to be a little bit more important, more high profile, big occasion, even if it's a first round match. Whereas he's the type of player today, up until today, a little bit like Wayne Ferreira, is more likely to have his losses out on court 12 than center court, court 1, that type of thing. So this is good for him, and if it's good for him, because he's so attractive to watch and so exciting to watch, it's good for the game.
Yes, he's a growing following, Marcelo Rios. Chang watched the court swept, because the players, even though it's a lot cooler, you can see Rios particularly sweating an awful lot. There's a return. Neither player believe that, even Chang looked totally bemused. It was on the line.
Is he say on the line, or was he asking him if it was long? Not going to ask him anything there.
Fourth ace from Rios. Certainly wasn't wide. Not volleying at the moment with any real security, but doing enough there. Back on track with his serve. Chino, they're shouting, his nickname back in Chile, because they say he looks like a man from China.
turn just not quite good enough. Not attacking it enough. Still feel that one of them has to take the second serve of the opponent by the scruff of the net.
Miss it. He's going to make it in, so Chang. Yeah, just off the line. Feel that Rios needs some inspiration. He's an inspirational player. Chang has kept him quiet. Nope. Good play from Rios. Did everything right there.
Absolutely. Chang actually did everything pretty right. It was a good effort on his behalf to play the topspin lob down the line. He prefers to play the topspin lob on the backhand cross court. It's easier for him. Only just pulled the ball wide by a fraction.
Too good. Just been too solid all round for Rios up until now.
With the weaker player.
But he likes to impose his game, doesn't he, generally, Rios? And he's just not been able to so far.
There are a couple of players that kind of stop him from doing that, and usually it's the player that's extremely fast around the court.
And he was there a couple of times.
And to be fair to Rios, he's a comparatively new boy on the block. He hasn't been in this situation before. And he's not a greatly experienced player. A year ago, you know, he wasn't anywhere near where he is right now in the ranking, so he can be still nervous.
So I wonder if he ever has been nervous. Certainly if there was to be an occasion, this would be one. He's different, all right. No. Might have learned a lesson earlier on. That's 0 out of 2 on drop shots. And it may well be very costly. 2 break points for Chang.
overruled. Ooh. I think perhaps that Rios was in the direct line of sight of the base linesman, and we couldn't see it, but I have a feeling the base linesman might have put his hands over his eyes unsighted.
Second break point. Well done. Absolutely crucial. The way Chang's been serving to go a breakdown right here would be absolutely critical. Whoa. What I do like about Rios is the way he accepts calls. It may not be a press man's dream or an interviewer's dream, but he is...
That's an understatement.
He's well behaved out there. Third break point.
Oh, yeah.
And we said it before, how brave.
Good forehand down the line. He's got Chang on the run. He just comes forward, takes that ball on the rise, and that gives Chang even less time to get back into position.
I think that's the first drive volley he's played.
He steps forward. He's already a little bit inside the baseline.
First double fault from either man in the match.
That is amazing that here we are so far into the match, set and a half. It's the first double fault. A number of aces though.
He's got him again. Fourth break point for Chang. So, at the stage we are now, it looks critical importance. And this is going to be a massive focus now on the character of Rios to come back from this situation. A breakdown, Chang playing well, serving phenomenally well, and he's a setup as well. New balls.
Character doesn't necessarily come into it if your opponent doesn't let you express your character.
Good. 10th ace from Chang.
This is the best serving I've seen of Chang ever.
He's got to stick in there, hasn't he? Wait for the chances, not force. It's very, very easy to say, especially if you're as flamboyant a player as Rios is. That's how much sweat there is around. So Chang very much in the ascendancy now. A set and 4-1 he leads.
He's going to have to try to do that. He's going to have to make things happen. One of the bugs. Good girl.
Yes, she's better than Michael.
Well, she's from Melbourne. She's used to those bugs. But really the worst thing he can do is just feel sorry for himself and kind of like go through the motions to say, well, you know, I can't win. But he's got to still be focused and believe he can win. So therefore he's got to start playing the way he wants to play.
Yeah, there have been occasions in the lesser tournaments where in this kind of situation, not playing well, he has given up the ghost rather. Not that he's not playing well now, not, as you say, not as well as he can do, not playing badly. Chang's just too good.
Yes, there's two types of not playing as well as you can. One is you are not playing very well, you're not feeling the ball, etc., etc. Yeah, and the other one is the most horrific, is that your opponent won't let you.
There's hope if Chang can make the odd unforced error like that. But you've got to stop your own, and here's break point again. This for 5-1. Yeah. Chang's tenacity again holds sway. And surely that's the second set wrapped up. A double break.
It was brilliant defending by Chang. That he was on the full run when he played that lob, and he gets it just inside the baseline, and then the next forehand, when he's standing 3 meters behind the baseline, he gets it just inside the baseline.
So 2 breaks, 4 games in a row, 5-1. This for a 2 sets to love lead. That's his first double. A bit like London buses, aren't they? They get one for an age and then they come along one after another. But the aces have been there all the time. Here's 11th.
What's that mean? Is it like a London taxi or what?
That's it. Talked about inspiration, and he's found some there. Maybe this will get him a little excited. Maybe too late to win the set, but if he can start feeling that the magic is coming, that's half the job. 2 break points. Terrific hitter. First break point he's had to save, and look at the way he saved it.
Well, he's going to have to come up with a similarly brave point, I feel.
And again, Rios is giving everything right now. His best game so far, but look at these shots from Chang again, within a centimetre of the line.
Yeah.
So here's the American then with set point for 2 sets to love lead. A set of the very highest quality. And to come back against Michael Chang from 2 sets to love down is asking for a superhuman effort. No doubt that Rios has the talent, but going back to what we were saying through the second set, he's just not being allowed to bring it into play here. Chang is just so good.
What he needs, Rios, is for his opponent to, you know, make a few errors. He can hit a few winners if he wants, but he needs his opponent to drop the ball a little bit short, round about the service line, not too wide, and he can get to the ball and then do his thing. But at the moment, when Chang does drop the ball a little bit short to land round about the service line, it usually has so much power and so much width that he's been taken too much out of court, and so therefore for him to reply to that in an exceedingly positive manner by going for a winner, it's very, very risky, and the risk is just a little bit too high, and the feeling isn't high enough in what he can do.
Can't blame himself for missing the break points there. He did everything right, forced to get them, but didn't force too hard. And Chang had to come up with some fantastic points. So Carl making sure the next racket is dead ready. Third set, hour and 10 minutes.
I have a horrible feeling in the pit of my stomach that he may just fold a little bit, and I hope that, of course, that I'm wrong. I suppose a lot depends on Chang. If Chang keeps doing what he's been doing,
In searching, he mustn't try and force too hard. Such a difficult equation to get right. First ace for a while. It's 5th in all.
He needed Chang to have been more committed to covering the open court than he was. It wasn't that bad a drive volley, but you see Chang was in a pretty good position just to go back and rifle the forehand.
2 break points. Oh, magnificent. Such an important point. It could have been the beginning of the end if he'd missed it.
It was a pretty good return. It's the power and the width that I'd mentioned, and the courage that he hadn't been able to find to come up with something. At the time he certainly did.
Oh, so tough. He doesn't deserve that. So a 3rd break point for the number 2 seed. Well done.
He had to come up with a very good pass, and does.
The danger with Chang, you just forced that little bit too much. A couple of centimeters long, and here's a 4th break point. Good. Found the rhythm.
He's getting himself into trouble with average shots, but he's getting himself out of trouble with brilliant shots.
For the most part, Chang must seem like a brick wall. Everything's coming back. And here's a 5th break point.
Well, that is the advert that he has with his clothing company, the Great Wall of China. And he says on the tennis court, "I am the wall." Well, that's pretty true tonight, isn't it?
Sure is. Well done. Extraordinary retrieving from Chang. How on earth did he get that back?
I don't know, but how on earth did Rios come up with that forehand down the line? Great points by both players at this moment. Oh yes.
There have been more shots of brilliance in this game than any up to now from Rios. Admire his attitude. And even so, Chang is still after him, sensing blood and in the mood to take no prisoners.
This is a brilliant play by Chang, not letting the ball bounce, not giving his opponent time to get back into the center of the court. Juice for the 5th time. Longest game of the match.
Super volley.
Comes in late because he can see his opponent's going to play a one-handed backhand. And that's his best backhand volley, the one cross court.
6th break point. Well, I have to say, I hope Rios wins this game. Not that Chang doesn't deserve to, has done anything wrong, but Rios has fought like a caged lion and played some unforgettable shots.
Plus, I think if he wins the game, I think it'll lift his spirits a little bit. I think if he loses this game now, such a long game, it could break his spirit a little bit.
Yeah. A very average shot, that one. 7th break point. No, searched again, just a little bit too much. And this extraordinary man Chang gets even closer to the semi-final. None of them have been easy, but they've all gone his way. Now then. Suddenly, errors. Well, he missed 2 break points in the last Chang service game with some phenomenal play from the American. Now he's got 3.
Oh,
well done.
Brilliant stuff, brilliant.
And at last, the Chileans have something to really get excited about. Admirable play from Rios, who's held his head up throughout this mauling he's taken. Maybe that'll give him even more heart. One each. His first break of the Chang serve.
That's what you call using the whole court. He attacks the second serve, and Rios does very, very well just to get it back, and then plays the drop shot diagonally across from where he was.
Oh, terrific smash, a really difficult one, and he controlled it amazingly well.
You could forgive him for letting it bounce. He hits the ball just inside the baseline.
And it's typical of Chang, isn't it? To come straight back at his opponent after suffering his first reverse, and here straight away are 3 break points again. Yes. He's so relaxed, or looks so relaxed. You never can tell with him. A confident shot. Still break point. Hates it. The most costly unforced error he's made so far. And Chang has him again. So we went to the 12th game before we had one service break, but now Chang's broken him the last 4 times he served. That made it 2-all. Must have held his serve, but then a problem. The ATP trainer Bill Norris on hand. Must have had a recurring problem with his hip at the back here. Looked to have a problem, so he was well and truly crunched. Bill Norris giving him a rare working out, but seemed to do the trick. Third set going to a tiebreak. That ace making it 5-3 in the tiebreak to the Austrian. Yeah, you could feel his disgust. Murderous hitting from Chang.
Oh, it was pretty good by both players. I was just waiting to see which one would change the direction of their ground strokes. Because the last time they had the rally, it was the opposite. Backhand from Rios, forehand to Chang, and Chang changed and made the error.
Believing he would, even though he's been beaten twice and hasn't won a set off Chang. He has total belief in his ability.
To be quite honest, if you don't have total belief, what the heck are you doing out there? So many players say, well, I hope to be a tennis player, or, you know, gee, I hope I win this match. Well, there's no such thing as hope. I will.
Yes, Rios is a pretty closed door as far as letting people know what he's thinking is concerned, but sixth ace. Close on to half an hour now, and serve has held sway throughout. That was Chang's quickest serve so far, 195 Ks. And when you come back, Rios will serve to stay in the first set. 5 with serve so far, serving to stay in the set. You suspect he's never lacked confidence in his life. Perhaps if there's a fault, it's been the other way. Sometimes perhaps a little overconfident. Yeah. But going back to that analogy, I've got no doubts that he is going to be a big occasion player. What's happened in the past is he's not allowed himself to get to the big occasion because sometimes his motivation hasn't been what it should be. But once he's there, it's going to be hard to knock off a pedestal. No, he's not going to serve with that one, is he?
There's definitely something wrong with that as far as he's concerned.